We already discussed here the archaeological sources. Now we will discuss literary sources. We already understand that what are literary sources. The sources which is written and which is received in a written format. So example I am taking, that is manuscripts, inscription, bark of bridge trees, palm leaves and clay tablets. Now what are they? If we consider first manuscripts. Manuscripts we will discuss in detail, but here I just give you the small definition. Manuscripts are the received in written format which is written on the palm leaves or clay tablets or on the different leaves. Inscription we already studied in archaeological sources. It is a inscribed or we can say written or carved on the solid objects. Now bark of bridge trees. Bark means हिंदी में उसे छाल कहते हैं. पेड़ों के छाल होते हैं, उसमें भी पुराने जमाने में लिखा जाता था. So that is bark. Bark of bridge trees. Palm leaves and clay tablets. So palm leaves also are used to write the manuscripts. Clay tablets means a rectangle type of tablets, that is object it is made of clay utilized for writing the manuscripts. Here these historians give lot of emphasis. Emphasis means importance to literary sources. Why? Because whatever the archaeological sources we are getting, so with the help of understanding these literary sources, we will get the confirmed information or more detail about the archaeological sources. Also include biographies, autobiographies and accounts of travelers. What are biographies? When I am writing of someone else's story or events, that is called biography. Autobiography means if I am writing something of myself, of my own, that is autobiography. And lastly we speak about accounts of travelers. Now what is that? In ancient time, when the kings were ruling the region or kingdoms or empire, the people from different parts of the country came to India to understand the structure of administration of different kings. They came, visited that kingdom, they collect different information about their religious, culture, everything, and they maintain their diary or we can say accounts of particular ruler. We are already understood literary sources. So first we take manuscript. It is a handwritten record of information. We already understand that manuscripts was the written record of information. It is written in form of letter on leaves, barks of trees or scrolls. Barks we already understand what is that. Now what is scroll? Scroll means a roll of paper made of papyrus plant. Yes. It is a paper, thick paper material which is made up of papyrus plant, that is known as scrolls. Now, here we can understand a lot of information like the form of script of olden days. Yes, if we see the different manuscripts, we can understand in previous time, ancient time, what are the forms of different scripts they were used to write. And also it is used to write the actual and mythical events. Actual means the day-to-day or other incidents which is already happened, and mythical means the events related to deities or goddesses.
We already studied manuscripts. Now the next point, next source is religious literature. Religious literature means books and manuscripts deals with religious. Okay, for example we can take the Vedas, the epics like Ramayana, Mahabharata. Upanishad means the disciples sitting near the and learning from the teacher. Okay, so there are different Upanishads are available like Katha Upanishad, Mundaka Upanishad, Maitri and many more. Now next, Buddhist Tripitikas. Now, what is that? It is a sacred text of Buddhist religion which is divided into three sections and that called as three baskets. Okay. Now, what the information we can get from these sources, that is, it is help us to understand the religious practices and beliefs, and also we can get the knowledge about the economic and social condition and culture of the people. Okay, now secular literature. Secular literature is different from religious literature. Here it is mentioned that these texts are non-religious in nature. Okay, non-religious in nature means we can take the example like autobiographies, biographies and court chronicles. Now, autobiography and biography already we discussed. What is court chronicles? That is mentioned here. Accounts written about kingdoms, courtiers and the living condition of that people at that time. Okay, so that is mentioned in court chronicles. And here example we can take more like Harsh Charita, that is a biography of King Harshvardhan, okay, written by Bana Bhatt. And apart from that, poems, dramas, folk tales and Kautilya's Arthashastra. This is also some more examples of secular literature. Now, accounts of foreign travelers. Already we understood what is this. So these accounts have huge importance for the historians because it gives lots of historical information. For example, Megasthenes, who was a Greek ambassador, visited the court of Chandragupta Maurya and wrote a book called Indica, which gives us a lot of knowledge about the Mauryan society. Okay, and apart from that, other Chinese travelers like Fan Hun and Yun Stang came to India and studied about Buddhism and wrote about the people, their lifestyle and the society. We already studied the types of sources like archaeological sources, literary sources. Now, apart from that, oral history is also one type of sources which is studied by the historians. Now, what is that? It is the record of history based on the personal experiences and opinions of the speaker. Means the speaker giving the information about the past and it is recorded by the historians. It includes personal interview, folk tales, myths, songs, etc. have been passed from generation to generation. Okay. Here, reconstruction of the past means already we studied in the chapter that there are types of sources. Okay. So with the help of these sources, the historians collect the information, study the information and write about them. And the historians reconstruct the past with the help of all these sources. Here the next topic is geographical location. Geographical location means what? As you know, India is a vast country. India's topography, if we see, it is as big as a continent. Now, what is topography? It is a detail of particular area including the natural and man-made physical feature of land. For example, hills, mountains, rivers, roads, dams, etc. Now, if we see the physical feature of our country, Himalaya is situated on the north and our country is covered with three-side water. If we talk about Himalaya mountain act as a natural barrier protecting us from invaders. That means the country or the people who wants to attack India. With the help of Himalaya, we can stop them. It is not easily crossed. And if we talk about cold winds, it is also the intensity become very low if it pass through the Himalayan mountains. It also helps us for trade between the different countries. Yes, the mountain passes act as a help for the trade between the different countries. Also, the countries, those who are situated sea far, they also come with the help of sea route and for the trading purpose in our country. Our country is known by two names, that is India and Bharat. Okay, fine. Now, river Indus flow through the northwestern part of the subcontinent, which is referred as Sindhu in Sanskrit. Okay, now here Greek people, when they came through this same river, Sindhu river, they referred Sindhu as Indus river. Okay, Indus river, and in ancient time the land of east of Indus river is called as India, and the northwestern land is called Bharat, and that is specially is mentioned into Rig Veda. Okay, yes, later on it is used for the whole country. Now the next point is India is a land of rivers. Okay, it is mentioned as India is a land of rivers. Rivers like Ganga, Narmada, and the Indus river provides us fertile plain. Okay, fertile plain for irrigation, that means agriculture purpose, and human settlement also. So people moved from north to south or south to north, and this way our India got its diversity. Now the next point is, when does history take place? Now generally if we see or notice, the historians write the period of that particular event or object, okay, or along with it some timing, that is oftenly used as BC and AD. Now what is that? BC and AD. BC means before Christ, AD means Anno Domini, or we can say after Christ. Now what it wants to tell? Generally whenever we see these details about the past, this BC and AD suggest that how old these objects or the events occurred at that time. Okay, so to understand this, I have drawn one line. So in here you can see in the middle it is mentioned as 1 CE, that is the birth of Jesus Christ. We consider, that means the historians consider the birth of Jesus Christ as the 1 year. Then from here we can see 500, then 1000, then 1500, 2000. The arrow goes towards and written as CE, that is CE means common era. And if we see on the left side the same 500, 1000, 1500, 2000, but there the written as BCE. BCE means before common era. Now already we discussed that what is BC and AD. Here the historians nowadays use BCE, that is before common era, as BC, and CE, that is instead of AD, that is after Christ, here the historian use common era. Okay, so from this we can understand the events. BC means the events took place before the birth of Jesus Christ, and AD means the events took place after the birth of Jesus Christ. Okay, now here you can see one examples also. First it is mentioned 800 BC, that means 800 years before the birth of Jesus Christ, and 200 AD means 200 years after the birth of Jesus Christ. Okay, so this we can find from this same line. Now we move toward the last. Here we already completed the chapter. Now it's just a revision I want to So here we already studied what is history. History means what? It's a past, study of past, and past is what? The events already occurred in earlier. Now we have already understood the sources. Yes, archaeological sources, that is monuments, objects, inscriptions and edicts, coins and burial sites. Here we can see in literary, manuscripts, religious literature, secular literature. Now, apart from these two sources, there is one more source, that is called oral history. That also we have studied. Hope you understand all aspects of this lesson. Thank you.